My name's Matt Vigari, and this is my video blog for CU1000 for, what was it, the new student dialogues and answering the questions. So the first question I'm going to answer is why do you think dialogue is a part of CU1000? And I guess to help us learn how to communicate with other people, like before we started our dialogue, they went through what a discussion is and what a debate is, and really stressed that they didn't want it to be an argumentative atmosphere or for us to attack other people, but to talk and to listen to others' opinions and openly acknowledge them and not attack anyone else or anything else that they believe, but just to give our own opinions and most importantly to listen to what other people have to say. So I guess the common goal in all of the dialogues are to get new students to be comfortable talking to one another in a healthy manner. And I got out of that, exactly that. The next question, do you see dialogue as a useful tool in your university experience? I do, because it made me more comfortable talking to random strangers, and it made me more comfortable discussing my opinions and beliefs with other people. And it wasn't a hostile environment, so it made me more open to sharing my ideas. If someone's going to call you stupid, you don't want to open your mouth. And I enjoyed it, actually, to be able to talk and interact with people. I was on the debate team in high school, so I kind of liked to argue with people, and I liked talking and discussing and listening to what other people had to say. And after I got out of the dialogue, I felt more comfortable to walk up to a random person on the sidewalk and talk to them, or feel comfortable talking to a random stranger. And so I think it was a good experience, and it helped my university experience overall from that. The name of my dialogue was where do you go to church? Yeah, okay. Where do you go to church? And we mostly just talked about religious stereotypes and what defines people. So the first thing we did, we got a little circle and filled out our name and economic, religious status and our sexual orientations and stuff like that, and just everything that defines us. And we paired up with other people and talked to each other about what made up our lives, what defined us, who we are. So our size, our height, our body mass index, our color of our skin, everything that people judge us by, both inward and outward appearances, the way we act, the way we talk, what we believe in. And after we did that, we collectively as a group, we talked about religious stereotypes for different religions. So we had like Christianity, atheism, Hindu, Middle Eastern, Israel religion, and the Jewish faith, and different categories of religions, and we all said what we believed to be religious stereotypes. And then we went through and gave examples of people that didn't fit the stereotype, and just to acknowledge that just because something is a stereotype doesn't mean that's true for every single person. So an example, a lot of Christians, a stereotype is hypocrite, but not all Christians are hypocritical or judgmental. And by doing that with all of the stereotypes, we were able to eliminate all of the stereotypes on the board. And we did that before we started discussing about religion, so that we could understand that just because it's a stereotype doesn't mean that it's true. And we watched a video about, it was discrimination towards a religious minority and how that happens in America, even though we don't think that kind of stuff happens. And it was some news team was videoing. It was a setup in a sandwich shop, and this woman with a headband dress on and her like uh, Middle Eastern dress walked up to the counter and asked for something, and the clerk refused. And then she asked a random person who didn't know that it was a setup, like to help her, and some people did, and then some people didn't, and some people applauded the man for not selling her a sandwich and for discriminating against her. And we further went on and talked about how there discrimination against minorities in America and how that occurs and why it's wrong and why it happens. Um, I feel like we achieved a true dialogue. Everyone shared. Everyone eventually, even those that were hesitant at first, uh, opened up and um, talked about religion and discrimination in America and shared their opinions, and everyone that spoke spent more time listening to others than they did talking. No one was loud or arguing or telling people they were wrong or stupid or calling names, but everyone really seemed to care about what everyone else had to say. And I was really interested, especially in what other people had to say. Like, we had a atheist in our group, and we had myself and other Christians in our group, and some Jewish people and some Catholic people in our group, and we really broke down and discussed like the differences between our personal beliefs, and we weren't judgmental towards each other, though. So I think that was a good environment, and it was a dialogue, not a debate, and not an argument, but a good dialogue. I enjoyed the overall experience, and I think it helped for my college experience. I was kind of reluctant towards going to it at first, but I'm glad it was a part of the CU1000, and it was pretty good. And I think that's it.